How you doing, people? What's good? It's Tunji. I'm making this video to clarify a few things, to give some details as to what I'm going to be doing for the next little while. Me and my wife dropped everything to pursue adventure. We decided to drop everything in our life and pick up our bags and travel the world for the next 4 months around Europe and around Asia. And this video is to detail why we came to this decision and where we plan on going. I'm 23 years old and I was a mechanical engineer back at home in Dublin. That's where I'm from, born and raised. And I decided that there was just something missing in life in terms of there was so many places that I'd want to go. I'm the type of person, I'm not jealous or envious of anybody, right? But anytime I seen somebody travel the world, I'd always feel like a pit in my stomach. And that was always something that, had a push for me. So I decided to make this rash decision to grab me and my wife and to take this journey. So taking this jump, it wasn't something that was ever easy. We didn't just, make it and not think about what other people would have thought, right? With our parents, as Nigerians, it's something that they can't even comprehend. Traveling the world, you're leaving a great job, stable life. For them, that's what they fought for, and it seems like we're just throwing it away. But that's just not the case. They gave us an easier life, so we wouldn't need to suffer like them. We would need to do what they had to do in order to survive. We have options now. That's why we had to take the jump. So the thing about it is, we did not want to wait until retirement before we started traveling the world. And we also didn't want to take a week here and a week there off. You can only get that 4 times in the year, You're not really going to understand the culture. You're not really going to immerse yourself in the culture. You're not really going to understand the world that's around you, right? You're just going to a holiday place. You do holiday things. I want to really immerse myself in each of the cultures. I want to see what the cultures are actually about. And that's why we decided to take this trip. And then I did the math and I thought about it and I said, wait a minute. If I take 4 months off straight, that means that's 4 years worth of holidays if I worked full time. So it was then I realized, okay, I need to make this jump, because if I can condense 4 years into 4 months, I'd much rather that than take a week off here and there and not really fully enjoy myself. You'll just be waiting before you have to go back to work and dread having to go back and say I wish my holiday was longer. So it wasn't solely just about the travel. There was other things that were involved there. I'm so interested in starting businesses and creating content and all of those things there that I can't actually have the time to do while I'm working full time. Because if you break it down, you're working 40 hours a week. You might have 2 hours here and there to spare to it, and you also have to take care of yourself. You have to train, you have to get to and from work. It's more of a thing of, if I want to try something, it would be the best to do it when I have a condensed amount of time that I can dedicate to that one task. And that's really the main reason why we're doing this. We want to travel the world, yes. I also want to take a chance on myself and try and see what I'm actually capable of. I want to test the boundaries. I want to see what I can do when I'm outside of the comforts of being in my own home. And that's just something you can't do when you're at home, when you have a regular type of thing. It's a stable, predictable type of thing. What can you do in the unpredictable? And that's just something that's really been weighing on me. I wanted to see what I was capable of. I spoke to a lot of people back at home, a lot of old people in particular, right? People that are either retired or close to retirement age. And a lot of the stuff that they always said to me, it's not as bliss as you might think it is. People think that you can finally enjoy yourself when you've retired. You can put your feet up, but you really can't. If you don't have investments, if you don't have other ways to kind of generate some income for yourself and just relying solely on your job, it's going to leave you in a position that you're really, like most people that I know that are retired have to work part-time because just to make ends meet. Because I did the math on it, and I urge you all to do that as well. Whatever job you're at right now, do the math and figure out how much it is that you'll actually have when you retire. How much is in that pot if you don't have any investments or you're not investment minded. I really urge you to do it because it can be very daunting. I did it based on a 50k salary that I have now. Let's just say it's a 2% increase every single year with and you put 5% of that away for your pension and then your company matches that at 7%. By the time I would retire at 65 years old, I'd have 960,000 euros, and that's in 35 years from now, or whatever that may be, 33 years. That's how much I would have in a pot. But £1 million by the time I'm retired, and if I don't have any other savings and stuff like that, most jobs don't have that pension scheme where they can match your pension, where you just have that on your own. I had a really good opportunity, right? Most other companies don't do that. And most other companies also don't give increases in salary. So when you really break it down, you might retire with only maybe 100 or 200k in a pot. That's not going to last you long. That £1 million might last a couple of years, but we need to also take the rate of inflation, which is on average 2% a year. So I'd be taking out, if I took 4% out of that per year, it'd be 28 grand in euros. But 28,000 euros in today's money, 35 years from now, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to buy the same thing, So we need to take those things into consideration and be more investment minded and be more weary about what the future holds. You can't just be doing these things and kind of just going and coasting along. You have to take risks. Otherwise, life is really just gonna chop you, man. You have to chop life first. With a little bit, just even a little bit of careful planning, you can actually do this for yourself. But other people might say,
oh, Tunji, it's easy for you to say you had a nice job.
You had A, B, C, and D. Or
I have kids and I can't do this as well.
Or I have a mortgage and I can't drop everything to do it, right? And to an extent, you might be right. If you believe that, then you're right. Anything that you believe, you're 100% right. If you think you can do it and you have a mortgage and you have kids and you have other things that you need to pay for, and you still believe that you can take time off to go and do it, then you're 100% right. Because I'm so convinced that if you believe something to be true, then it's true for you. Don't make excuses if you think that this is something that you could do. That job isn't going anywhere. Fear is what really just brainwashes people and makes them think that things aren't possible, right? Fear is what holds most people back from seeing their actual potential. Because people are so scared of things, so fearful of losing that job. That job isn't going anywhere. You'll get hired again. If you're good at what you do, you're going to get hired again. If you have a mortgage, rent out the house, right, while you're gone, so that the bills are covered when you're gone. When you come back, you go right back to where you left off, right? If you're any good at anything, you can make this happen, all right? Fear is used in order to stop you from reaching your fullest potential. And the thing about that I've realized is, from a kid, we've all been programmed with little things here and there to make you think that you need to do things a certain way. As an Irish person, I see my fellow Irish people so consumed with getting a mortgage. That's all that people think about, right? When there's so many other things that they could do. All they're focused on is, oh, I need to graduate, get a mortgage, and then just work until retirement. That's just how people have been programmed, right? But it just takes just a little bit of thought. A little bit of thought will make you realize that that's actually not how things ought to be or should be for you. That's not how I wanted my life to go, because it seems so bland. It's so boring, right? You're not exploring anything. Yeah, you might take a week off here, you might take 2 weeks here and go and see a country, but ultimately that's not the best thing that you could do with your time, right? We have these invisible barriers that are blocking us from doing certain things in life and achieving certain things in life, or believing that we can even do something in life. But those barriers are all imaginary. They're not really there. It's just a matter of convincing yourself whether you can do it or not. And if you say you can, then you're right. But if you say you can't, then you're also right. I just had a thought. I challenge you to take time off to just think. Because one thing I've realized is society is built in a way that you have to continuously stay busy so that you don't think about anything. So that you're continuously in a cycle of waking up, going to work, coming home, noisy kids, noisy everything, noise. Have you ever had a time where you just sat down and it was just quiet to where you can actually think? At this stage, I'm convinced that most people have to stay busy, because if it's quiet, they don't even know. They're actually scared of themselves. They're scared of thinking. And instead of running away from themselves by putting loads of responsibilities upon them, so that it'll stop them from thinking and breaking out of this matrix that we're in, right? The system that's on us is designed to keep you continuously thinking, having things on your head that you can't do, don't have enough hours in the day to do this, can't do this, so much going on, I'm so stressed. It's supposed to be like that. The way you're feeling is that's how society's been designed, so you can continuously stay working, like the worker ants, right? It's people that have broken away from that, looking from the outside in, realizing, oh, so this is what it feels like to actually think. Because when you're so busy, you don't have the chance to sit down and think. That is actually just something that I've realized, you know, and it's a challenge that I urge every single one of you listening to take upon yourself. Cover yourself for like a month or two. If you're not like a big travel person, you know, that's fine. But cover yourself for a month or two and go into your interests. Buy back your time. Buy back 2 months of your time. Cover all your bills and have expenses. Cover all your bills and expenses for 2 months. Take a bit of time off to just sit down and think. Be inside your head. Read that book you wanted to read. Start that business you wanted to start. And tell me how much different your life will be by the end of those 2 months. That's a condensed period of time. That 2 months of all the time to yourself is equivalent to having a 2-year gap by making an hour each day here and there. Buy back your time and see what happens and see how powerful that can be for you. I hope this will inspire you to take that chance on yourself, to start that business that you always wanted to start it, to try that idea that you always wanted to try. Get out there, do these things, because at the end of the day, money will always come back. All the money that you're investing into this knowledge and all these things that you want to try will always come back eventually. But the things that won't come back is the regret that you feel for not taking action from the beginning. Don't wait until it's too late to take action, because regret is the thing that ages people, it kills people. Regret is the thing that old people have in their deathbed that they remember and eats them up. 70 years before they ever died, they still regret not taking that chance when they were 20. And I urge you not to take the same chance. Take action today.